we're doing plague doctor things today, I guess. Be me, rich doctor, with a totally cool mask. Be walking to the cathedral to show these peasants my expertise. Strolling down the street, smacking peasants with my awesome doctor beating stick. Life is good, tapestry. Finally arrive at the cathedral. Everyone excited that I, the very talented doctor, am here. I stroll up to the podium. What is it that ails you lowly creatures? I ask in my scary doctor voice. Lady peasant raises her hands. Oh, yes, you. What ails thee, repulsive serf creature? My throat, my lord, it hurts whenever I swallow. Ah, yes, I know exactly what ails thee. I have no freaking idea what the problem is. Time to wing it, loot suit. Have her come to the front of the room. Nervously stall for time as I search my sweet new doctor bag. Settle on a knife. Tell this stupid peasant bitch that her throat has too much blood in it and needs to be drained. The audience is just loving this. So I lay her down on the table. Behold! Slice her neck open. Oh, parchment. Blood spurts across the table. Stupid heifer is squirming and bleeding everywhere. Finally stops moving and stops bleeding. I turn around and bow. I freaking nailed it. They all ask if she's dead. I call them addle-pated fools and explain that she's simply relaxed and will awaken within the hour. Audience nods in approval. Get paid sweet medieval Bitcoin. GTFO as quickly as possible. Can't come back to this town. Buy even pointier doctor stick. I am a doctor. Yes, sort of. I mean, the throat don't hurt no more. Next one. Be me. Prestige doctor living in a sweet doctor castle by the lake. Have collection of scary masks and sharpened beating implements. Life is good, descant loot. Spending the day beating the plague out of the peasants. Peasant passed out on the floor, but beating anyways because stressed. Courier arrives, tells me that I have a king's summons. Finish beating unconscious serf and wipe the blood off my favorite doctor stick. Pack bags for the king's castle. 3-week carriage ride. Parchment. Get to the king's big old castle. Anticipation of lots of medieval Bitcoin makes me beat the carriage driver in excitement. Throw meager sum of coins at repugnant serf driver. Go inside. King sees me. Tells me his son is ill and is getting worse by the day. Explain to him that he needn't worry because I am a professional and a doctor. For reals. Wearing my formal scary doctor's mask, King takes me upstairs to his son. Oh my god, canvas. King's son is covered in boils and is vomiting blood. Ah, yes, I see. I have encountered this once before, I explained to the king. I have never seen this shit in my life. Oh my god, I'm gonna puke, oil painting. I think that I should probably beat the illness out of him. Decide it's probably a bad idea with several guards and the king watching, but I decide to wing it. Search through fancy doctor's bag purchased with hard-earned medieval Bitcoin. Pull out a jar of goat poop. Explain to the king that I'm gonna have to force this down his son's throat. King believes me and tells me to do what I have to do. Walk up to this disgusting plague-ridden child. Start shoving goat crap into this freaking kid's mouth. Dad is just watching, not batting an eye. Kid passes out after a half hour of me force feeding him poo. Ah, good. The treatment is beginning to take effect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this kid's gonna die. King thanks me for my service and pays me precious medieval Bitcoin. GTFO, quick, sell house, move to new country. My face when I hear that that kid died shortly after my visit. I am a doctor. I don't know. I kind of believed you still after the first one. The second one, it's a little more sus. Be me, illustrious, respected doctor. Just fled country, find stupid village in new country. On search for sweet, sweet medieval Bitcoin. Realize this place is full of crap huts and covered in garbage and feces. Yeah, I'm definitely in France. Oh, my nostrils. Wood etching. Go up to filth-ridden surf and demand they construct me a suitable living quarters. Simpleton just stares at me. Beat that imbecile with my brand new Dr. Cane. Has good wrist traction. Chant. Addle-pated fool tells me that they do not know how to build such a thing. Explain that he should deconstruct all of their crappy huts in the village to construct my house. Agrees on the condition that I fix their witchcraft problem. Oh God, parchment. Cease beating and tell disgusting vermin to take me to the cause of said witchcraft. Leads me to large crappy hut. Leader of village approaches me and asks if I can fix their problem. Yes, of course, dim-witted peasant. The cure for the matter of witchcraft is well within my merits as a doctor. Leader agrees to my terms and takes me into the back room. See 6 women just seizing out on the table. What the hell? Him. The putrid serf explains that the women have been afflicted with a terrible spell. Explain that I, the renowned and very knowledgeable doctor, will procure their cure. Find a bunch of just random stuff in the woods, come back with a random handful of berries and sticks, then tell them to shove the sticks up their poopers and force feed them the berries. My face when they actually do it. About 15 minutes later, all of them start foaming at the mouth and die. Whoops, Oregon. Villagers accuse me of murder. Explain to them that they are ignorant fools, and the women will of course resurrect themselves in a week's time, free of witchcraft. They believe me. 1,000,000 medieval keks. Sonnet. Wait until nightfall, steal all the precious medieval Bitcoin I can find, burn the village down, take horse and ride toward next town. I am a doctor. Yeah, but you're not like a very good doctor, are you? What medieval medical school did you go to? You learned all about the 4 humors. Me, recently unemployed, but still exalted doctor. Wander into new town, 1/5 the amount of stuff on streets, just as many rats as the last village that I burned down. I am definitely still in France. Stroll into town with extra pointy doctor stick in my hand. Guard sees my spooky mask and awesome stick and rushes up to me. "My lord doctor, my lord would like to hold an audience with thee." Lol, alright, harpsichord. Follow guard to castle. Lord offers me a room to practice my doctoring. Bag of yummy medieval Bitcoin. Oh yeah, glass painting. Tell him I'd be honored to work in his covered peasant city. And he's of course delighted. In new office, huffing random herbs to catch a buzz when a woman comes in complaining of a headache. "Ah, disease of your festering peasant head. I know the cure for thee." Pull out sweet Dr. Trepanning device. She sits down. I start drilling into this skull. I gotta get the demons out. Really is horrifying, isn't it? She starts getting dizzy from the awesome herb and passes out. Accidentally collapses onto the trepanning device and push it into the dumb wench's head. Oh God, Viola da Gamba. She's dead! Well, there's nothing that a lobotomy can't fix, I'll say that. I huff more herbs to calm down. The Lord comes in. Hatch plan. Tell the king that, I released her demons, but because of her witchcraft, the demons possessed me to kill her. The king laps this up. Gives me even more delicious medieval Bitcoin. Stand at window later that night huffing more herbs, watching them burn that wench's corpse. I am the best doctor. I mean, it's a cure. Not the ideal cure, but she don't hurt no more. It's gonna be fine. Rest in peace, wench. Be me, recently re-employed, well-respected doctor. New lord provides me with the finest pointy doctor sticks and the scariest doctor masks. Easily overlook feces-addled hovel of a village that I have to live in. And that sweet medieval Bitcoin, decorative vase. Living the doctor dream. Huffing tons of herbs and poking my pile of dead peasants with a doctor stick. Life couldn't be better, etching. Suddenly, disgusting, poop-caked surf bursts into my office. Tells me that there are armed men here to kill me. Nervously huff more herbs and smack dead peasant with new and improved doctor stick. Go outside. It's men sent by the king whose son I fed all that goat crap to and that, well, I probably killed. Well, goddamn, basket weaving. They're all interconnected. It's beautiful. Quickly run inside. Men see me and catch me. Drag me on the horse. Well, I'm probably gonna die. Medieval trumpet. Get back to King City. King is pretty pissed. Says I killed his son and says that I will hang for it. Then I hatch an ingenious plan. Tell the king that the son was, he was the spawn of the devil. Explain that only servants of the devil himself would die after eating that amount of goat shit. King is starting to believe it. Friggin' nice, Gregorian chant. Tell him I had to run because the devil was on to me, and staying would have endangered the kingdom. Tell him all of his children are cursed and must be purged. The king pleads for my forgiveness. Lol, idiot. Gothic architecture. Offers me delicious, tender, medieval Bitcoin in recompense. Salivate. Flying buttress. Get cart full of wonderful, medieval Bitcoin. On way out of kingdom, see king's 6 children strapped to burning stakes. Major 12th century Keck incoming. Harp. Brush by burning kids on the way back to Doctor House in Craphole, France. This card's pretty sick. I am the smartest doctor. Oh my god. Do you feel nothing? You don't feel nothing. Be me! Extremely wealthy, extremely handsome doctor. Strolling back to Craphole Village from the king's castle, playing with the skull I found on the road. Decide now that king doesn't want me to hang and has significantly less children for me to kill. I can go back to my sweet Doctor Castle. So I stroll back up to the Doctor Castle. What the hell is this crap? Mosaic. Town's lord took over Doctor Castle after I went to Poop Tier, France. So I burst through the doors. Demand that I see the squabbling peasant lord who took my castle. The lord comes out to tells me that he owns this castle now. Oh, really? Ivory carving. Explain to the lord that I left some essential doctoring items in the basement. Drooling imbecile lets me go take a look. Go down to the place where I hid all of the bodies of the peasants that I, cured. Smells like home. Fresco wall painting. Hatch plan. Place bodies in a pentagram on the floor. Huff a ton of herbs, cause you know, why not? Go upstairs and tell the lord that I got everything I needed. Go back to the king's castle. Tell the king that the lord is a necromancer. King bursts into complete hysteria. Starts going off about how witchcraft ruined his life and took all of his children. He starts crying. Lol. Embroidery. Tells me through gasps of pathetic tears that he'll send troops to the Doctor Castle. Go back to Doctor Castle. My face when King's troops are flogging the Lord while burning his wife and children for harboring a necromancer. I can't wait to examine the corpses. Sculpture. Breeze by the Lord while he cries in pain about his dumb family being dead. Huff a ton of herbs and poke pentagram peasant bodies with designated peasant poking stick. I am winningest doctor. This is horrifying, man. But we're moving on. Be me, King Doctor in fancy Doctor Castle, spending evening testing theory that boiling water can cure the plague. Instead, it makes peasants scream for 45 minutes and then die. Huh, that's weird. Manuscript. Then I remember that Christmas is right around the corner. Go down to basement where I keep all of my peasant corpse toys. Realize that there are not nearly enough corpses to do my yearly peasant corpse themed bonfire. Christmas is friggin' ruined. Romanesque art. This simply will not do. I will not allow the local peasants' persistence to continue living, get in between me and my delicious burning surf bonfire. So I hatch a plan. Grab a plague rat from a jar that I keep under my bed. Makes me kind of hungry looking at it. Ignore the nagging hunger and proceed to lurk into the night toward the town well. Drop yummy rat into well. Waste of a meal. Vaulted roofs. Go back to bitchin' Dr. Castle and huff more herbs. A week later, the entire town is knocking at my door with the plague. Yes, Mosenart. Spend a week using the pointiest doctor stick to beat the plague out of these revolting plague-ridden plebs. Use entire supply of leeches. Try to put leashes on some of their beeholes and keep a couple from not dying. But for some reason, the leeches do nothing. Weird, Gothic painting. My face when all of the peasants die. Went a bit overboard. Oh crap, Reliquary. Entire town gone. Christmas comes, screw it. Best bonfire yet. Huff herb in front of 100-foot tall mound of flaming surf corpses. Brings a tear to my eye. A Christmas miracle, altarpiece. Probably gonna have to move elsewhere because now the entire town is dead. Oh well, enjoying moment. I am only doctor. Yeah, an only doctor means that you're the best doctor, right? Be me, hallowed and cherished doctor, leaving sweet Dr. Castle because, well, the entire town got the plague and died for some reason. I'm on the road playing with a peasant child's femur, the best kind of femur, catacombs. Just about to pull out a skull and bounce it around with the peasant child's femur when a bandit jumps out of the woods. Oi, you doctor, you go come with me. Immediately drop precious skull and peasant child's femur. And what makes you think I'm going to do that, you begrimed shit-covered cretin? He shows me his shiny longsword. Well, crap. Illuminated manuscript. Squalid, unwashed bandit leads me to a cave in the middle of the forest. Shows other bandit with arrow in his chest. I see that he is laying by a pile of luscious, mouth-watering medieval Bitcoin. Immediately erect. Codex. You go fix him, the vile poop-covered bandit says. This dude's definitely gonna die. Decorative metalwork. Oh, of course. I know precisely what ails your repugnant friend, creature. I don't even know how this dude's still alive. Decide to totally wing it. Your disgusting friend has surely not been paying to Saint Fiacre, and most certainly has a hemorrhoid. We must place a hot iron on his aim this instant. Please don't do that. Bandit actually believes me. Brings me superheated metal. I brand this idiot's bunghole. 5 minutes later, the screaming stops, and he dies. Huh. Might not have been a hemorrhoid, lapis lazuli. Bandit gets pissed off and tries to attack me. Gets shot with an arrow through the neck. What? Crozier. It's the king's troops! He saw the child peasant's femur on the road and knew that it was me. Thank the king's troops. They drag the bandits out to place their heads on pikes to deter criminals. Yummy head on pike. Palimpsest. Grab all that delectable medieval Bitcoin. Go back to road and play with skull and peasant child femur. Life is good. I'm one lucky doctor. I'm depressed for the peasant child. The bandit probably did have it coming though. It's fine. Be me! Once again unemployed, but still revered doctor. Wander into New Town, covered in cow poop and blood is just running through the streets. Everyone is drunk and killing each other. Yep, I'm definitely in Germany. Park myself on a bench and watch scrumptious crows pick at the bodies of dead peasants in the streets. Found me some lunch, liar. Just about to snag some delicious crow meat when clergyman approaches me, notices my extra scary doctor mask, asks me if I was the same doctor from the ghost town with the 100-foot tall pile of yummy charred corpses. Tell him that I am the very same doctor, but obviously I was not responsible because corpses just sort of do that sometimes. He of course agrees, and he tells me that he wants me to share my doctoring expertise with other doctors. Promises sizable portion of sweet medieval Bitcoin. About the nut. Woodcut. Tell hapless clergyman that I'm happy to take his money. Takes me through the cow poop and body carpeted streets to this church. Rooms filled with doctors in training with pitifully scary masks, honestly. They see my extra scary mask and they know that I am a consummate professional. The clergy introduces me. One doctor asks me why that town had a 100-foot tall pile of corpses. Explain that their education has failed them if they have not learned that corpses just sort of do that thing sometimes. Eat Duke, my dude. Ivory trinket. Clergyman tells me that he would like for me to do an examination. He brings in a child. Kid is flailing his arms and screaming. Ah, yes, it is surely his eyes, and his humors are misaligned. Start covering the disgusting child with leeches. Class applauds my choice of leeches. Leeches for every occasion. Triptych. After leeching, the boy is much calmer and pale. The treatment is clearly working. Start digging in the kid's eyes with a knife. God, dude. That is cringe. I got a mental image. I tinker around for 30 minutes because, I'm kind of faded. Afterwards, I turn to the class and bow. Class erupts into uproarious applause. Get paid irresistible medieval Bitcoin. Go back into town and eat divine savory crow meat. I am a wonderful doctor. I'll know about that. But I am hooked into the continuing adventures. Be me, studious doctor professor, lounging in my lecture hall, washing down a decadent meal of crow meat with mead, with a dash of delicious window pigeon, of course. Hear a knock on the door. Lunch officially ruined. Cantus firmus. It's the local land baron. Fat baron comes in complaining that he's too fat and women aren't interested unless he kidnaps their family and threatens to kill them. He smells a lot like sweat and diarrhea, so that all makes sense. Tell him that I am a prestigious, world-renowned doctor, and I will cure him of his gluttonous fat body. Call me Ishmael. Consular diptych. Tell Baron that he's got too much black bile in his crap fat body. I've got to purge it. Have the Baron sit down. Tell him that I have to make him throw up the sinful black bile to get rid of the devil. Throw some leeches in there for good measure. Leeches fix all. Runestone. Go into the back and mix up a random assortment of herbs that I found while looking for that tasty, tasty crow meat. Huff some herb because, I earned it for my hard work. Feed the land whale the concoction of herbs, and he seems all right. Treatment is definitely working. Job well done. Visigoth art. Suddenly, after a minute, fat body falls out of his chair and slams his greasy cheese-covered body against the floor. That's probably not a good sign. Byzantine silk. Baron's men burst into the room. See me standing over the fat Baron as he's seizing out and crapping all over himself, completely ruining the varnish. Tympanum. My face when Baron dies. My face when Baron's men grab me. My face when taken in chains outside away from the remainder of my delicious crow meal. Dragged through the town. Drunken townspeople stop killing each other and watch me go by. Get dragged to the town dungeon. I am scared, doctor. Oh my god, this one ends differently. What a twist. Be me, recently incarcerated doctor. Dragged by Baron's men into dungeon for low-key, killing the Baron a little bit. Whoops, organum. Get thrown into a cell. Smells like shit and rotting corpses. The cells are strewn with blood. The sounds of tortured screaming echo throughout the entire dungeon. Just like home. Dorian mode. Wait 6 weeks. 6 weeks go by pretty quick. Learn all types of new flogging methods for when I get out. Plentiful rat meat everywhere. Every hour a severed head rolls down the hall that I could play with. Paradise. Conductus. Eventually men come to drag me out of my cell. Drag me down the hall towards a dark room. They throw me into a chair. Torches illuminate slowly. Light casts across the room. There is the king and the lord from before. urine incoming. Mote. You're probably wondering why we're here, Doctor, the king says. I mean, I have a couple of guesses, I managed to utter out while trying not to pee. Well, let me help you remember. How about how you had me kill my entire family after force-feeding my sickly son raw goat shit? I mean, you're still mad about that? The guard next to me punches me in the stomach. Then I get hard for some reason. I'll address that later, Madrigal. Yes, I'm still quite mad about that. And I'll have you know I sent a letter to Our Holiness the Pope. He had not heard of any usage of goat poop in the treatment of plague. I'm an innovator. The guard punches me in the face this time. I'm on the precipice of nuttin'. Organetto. Your murder of my son leads me to believe that you have had other children killed to cover your tracks. And then had me and my family killed and declared me a necromancer, the Lord quipped. Or it was witchcraft and I'm a hero, in which case you should unchain me and give me some savory medieval Bitcoin and one of those neat heads from down in the dungeon. The king nods at the guard. Guard slams me in the back of the head with the butt of his sword. Coom immediately. Tabor. Well, this is really gold place, isn't it? Continued. Readjust my eyes after mind-shattering coom. See the king coming towards me. I would have just had you killed myself, the king offered, but the Pope insisted that you be executed at the Vatican for your crimes. I mean, I just had a couple of children burnt at a stake or whatever. That's actually what they do on Christmas in Germany anyway, I retorted, and everyone in the room agreed. That's true, the king stated. However, we know it didn't end there. For instance, your 100-foot-tall pile of charred corpses. Corpses just do that. Guard smacks my face against the table in front of me. Round 2, Veal. Look up to see child walking in from back corner. Recognize her from the village that I low-key gave the plague to. Well, goddamn. Indeed, Doctor. She saw you burning those corpses that night. Even stated that you might have been pleasuring yourself the entire time, King states. I mean, when a sexy pile of corpses is on fire, you can't exactly say no to a little hand action. We're reaching new levels of degeneracy. Congratulations. And everyone in the room agreed. Of course. Regardless, you will be extradited to the Vatican. Urine has arrived. Trope. The guard next to me grabs my mask, rips it from my face, and throws it into the fire. No! I scream from my now entirely non-terrifying face. You will die, Doctor. The guards drag me through the halls, away from the king and the lord. Scrumptious rat meat scurries by, taunting me with their deliciousness. I am torn into the world. The moon casts against the carriage that I am to ride into Rome in. They throw me inside. I sit, completely stripped of my beloved mask, completely exposed to the world as a non-terrifying entity. Guard remarks that I'm kind of good looking, actually. Insult to injury! The horses start. Off we go into the night, towards my death. I don't want to die. Not before I've built a 200-foot-tall pile of charred bodies. Not before I finish my nightstand made entirely out of children's skulls. My dreams deferred. I am terrified, Doctor. I mean, it's just desserts, isn't it? I think he's gonna escape. It's gonna be fine. Be me, terrified doctor in the back of a prison transport carriage. Been traveling for weeks. Had to survive on meager supply of 3 rats and a malnourished carrier pigeon. Could actually use some crow. Ambrosian chant. Traveling through the Alps, almost too cold to rub one out. Almost. Managed to anyway while picturing my father beating me. Jesus, dude. That actually explains a lot, sack butt. After a day it gets warmer, I look outside and see beautiful fields, mothers beating the hell out of their kids with a rolling pin, Half of the town is asleep. All the stores are closed because it's time for their 6-hour midday nap. The other half is drenched in pee and wine, like 6 people just banging it out in the road. Yeah, we're definitely in Italy now. God damn it. Ride for another couple of days. Running out of delicious pigeons. Liturgical drama. Finally arrive at Vatican. Guards drag me inside my cell. New prison dungeon hardly smells like crap at all. Barely any scrumptious heads on the floor. Can't even write my name in blood on the wall. This place blows. Archibald. The guard shuts the cell door on me, spits in my exposed, non-scary face. Guard turns around, couple of minutes go by, other guard comes in, and they start making out. What the hell? Tableau. Other guard presses the guard against my cell door. Remember hearing a little while back that all Vatican guards are gay for some inexplicable reason. Convenient. Hagiography. Grab the guard's keys through the prison cell door, while the other guard is going to town on the other guard. I wait till they're done, cause, you know, I'm not a total Unlock the prison door, grab the guard's halberd. Guard turns around, and I put that halberd right through his fucking head. Blood on face, yummy and warm. Epic poem. The other guard screams, and I put that halberd through his head. Cut the other guard's head off, make yummy blood spatters into my mouth. Oh, damn, get hot again. Cittern. It's descending. It's descending so quickly. Where's the e-brake on this thing? No time to rub one out. I realized that even with the added addition of blood on my face, I'm not scary enough. Remember my insane sex appeal in a building full of only gay guards. There's no way that I can bang all of them. Not enough time. Gonna have to kill him instead. I need to make myself more scary. Look down at lovely head looking off into the distance with a permanent scream. Carve off face of tasty looking screaming severed guard head and put it over my own face. It's not a doctor mask, but it'll do. Spooky once again. Dulcimer. Trail down the hallway wearing skin face mask. Enter giant open room. Like 20 guards standing pointing their halberds at me. Oh shit. Fiddle. I gotta act quick. I notice something. Look above to see a giant chandelier fixture. Look to my right and see the rope holding up the chandelier. Briefly wonder why anyone would design it like that. Guards notice and start screaming and try to scatter. I shrug and cut the rope. Chandelier drops, smashes all of the guards in tandem. Decadent bones, splinters, and internal organs fly freely through the air. Loins about to burst. Goliardic poetry, drenched in delicious entrails and bone fragments. Not nearly enough time to collect all the remains. Brush a bit into my pocket. For later, you see. Move on to the next room. It is dark in this room. Ignite the torch on the far wall. Light fills the room. Suddenly I see it. Hundreds of them. The scariest doctor masks I have ever seen. And in the middle, the magnum opus of doctor masks. I've seen God. Recorder. Next to it, the pointiest doctor stick I have ever laid eyes upon. I'm so happy I might just go back and roll around in the guard's entrails. I remove my skin face mask and place the doctor mask on. Throw away the halberd, grab the doctor stick, drag one of the bodies in and start beating it. Poke it. Poking action is over 9,000. Sniff stick. Taste stick. Experience stick. It's perfect. Saltery. Collect myself and take a deep breath. Time to go find the Pope. I am now a doctor. Reborn. Oh no, Pope, watch out. Don't worry, God told him that the doctor's coming. Be me, Doctor Reborn. Found the spookiest of spooky masks, have the pointiest of pointy sticks. I am officially the scariest doctor in the world. Therefore, the best doctor in the world. Finish up poking 20 or so dead guards underneath that chandelier. Incoming wood. Albades. Once again, there isn't nearly enough time to set all these bodies on fire and tug one out into said fire. I gotta go find the Pope. I traipse leerily towards a spiral staircase at the back of the Great Hall, clutching my doctor stick in one hand, holding guard head by the hair in the other, you know, for company. Move my way slowly to the top of the stairs, hear laughter coming from the end of the hall. Got you now, Cornet. Sniff head one last time and throw it on the floor. Managed to push down the urge to crap my pants from all that rat that I ate on the way here. Managed not to poo myself and make it to said door. Inside, I hear the voice of an old man. I burst through the door. Got you now, you repugnant pile of... What the hell, Dot Sham? See the Pope, completely in his birthday suit, standing in front of 3 choir boys. What the hell? The Pope screams. The choir boys scream alongside the Pope. My mask is working. I was going to come in here and just bludgeon you to death on the spot, but... Holy God, I was not expecting this! I spurt at the Pope. His dong is literally looking at me in the eyes. Wrinkled, shaved gerbil. Bandora. You murder countless innocent people, and you have the audacity to judge me! The Pope screams. Shake head at disgusting, vile gerbil man. Walk up. Take his feet out from under him with my impressive doctor stick. Holy grail of sticks, clavichord. Old pedo hits the floor. He snaps his freaking hip. I hear the yummy snap of bone and start involuntarily salivating. Pope lies on the ground, trying to edge his way away from me. My 22 gods will have your head, Doctor! No freaking way, Brooch. 1 trillion medieval kex, carpet page. See halfway sturdy rope behind me, grab said rope. Tie improvised noose knot that I learned while testing to see if hanging cured the plague. It sorta did, sorta didn't. That'll do. I mean, technically, in the most technical sense. You'll burn in hell for this, you heathen scum! Get tired of listening to shriveled gerbil pedo man. Throw noose around support beam. No, I won't let you know! He yelps. Put it around his writhing neck and tighten it while he struggles to get away. Grab stick and whack him in the head. A stick for every occasion, Vellum. Pope quiets down substantially. Raise him up by his neck. Tie the end of the rope to a wall fixture. Honestly, that garbage noose knot should take a while to kill him. I tell the kids I'll be right back. Take a monster poop in the Pope's bed. Lol. Eat Duke, my dude. Isnick pottery. Go downstairs after this exhausting dump. Go into room of doctor stuff. Grab 3 doctor sticks. Go back upstairs. Pope woke up and is slowly choking out. Hand out doctor sticks to the kids. Have at it, kids. Maybe the plague doctor's not such a bad guy after all. I don't think it'll undo the psychological damage, but he's letting these kids have their vengeance, so that's like 1 point. He's still like a few million in the hole, though. The choir boys smile ear to ear, and we all start beating the life out of the choking Pope. Feliz cumpleaños para mí, barbarian art. Pope is struggling and gurgling, trying to reach for the rope to free himself. Choir boy sees this and smacks his wrists repeatedly. It snaps like a freaking twig. We beat him mercilessly for 20 minutes. Blood and bone fragments flying across the room like party confetti. Pope swinging back and forth, silently screaming. Eyes roll into the back of his head. The kids are using tremendous beating form. A tear comes to my eye. Fatherly love, carved stone. Finally, the Pope chokes to death, or lost too much blood. Doesn't really matter. We still beat him for another 10 minutes, then teach the kids how to properly beat the plague out of a peasant. We all clean the Pope off of our respective doctor beating implements. Kids tell me that when they grow up, they want to be a doctor. Tell them that that would make them competition, and I'd have to drain them of all of their blood. Let them dream, image stone. Bid the children farewell, walk downstairs, grab a guard tibia, you know, for the road. Waltz out of the Vatican, dawn is slowly breaking, wander into Rome, sit by town's well and stare at sunrise, see sickly rat wandering by. Screw it, why not? Crusader art. Grab rat and snap its neck, toss it into the well. I'll be back for my 200-foot pile, I say to myself as the sun peaks above the horizon. Till then, I'm going to find King and Lord, and I'm going to remove their skin. I am coming. I am Revenge Doctor. To be continued. Well, this series is full of fun little historical tidbits, isn't it? Plague doctors, yeah, they basically were just con men wandering around from town to town, taking advantage of fearful plague-addled people in Europe. It's like the Chris Trucker of the way back before times, right? Take advantage of anybody you can. Have no remorse for anything that you've done. Will the plague doctor get his revenge, or will the world mete out some justice upon him? Find out next time on the next episode of Plague Doctor Greentext. The doctor has returned. Be me, doctor on warpath, strolling through city upon city. Everyone cowering in fear before my super spooky mask. If you want to hear the story about how we got the spooky mask, that link in the description. There was a first part to this. My medical prowess is off the freaking charts. Everyone gets leeches. Crumhorn. Traveling through Austria on the way back to the Lord and the King. First one on the agenda is the Lord. Figure the local peasants will know where to find him. Go up to 2 peasants, both participating in a normal Austrian activity of smashing the other one to death with a large stone. Tradition. Approach the one on top, smashing the other's brains in. See dirt soaked with brain matter and blood. Try not to coom, flagellate. Excuse me, detestable crap-drenched peasant. Peasant drops rock and looks at me. He climbs off of the other, much deader peasant and greets me with a series of grunts. My German is a bit rusty. I grunt back to acknowledge his repugnant cultural norms. He takes off his pants and starts jerking it. God frickin' damn it, Aud. Try to ignore it and just ask him if he knows where the Lord is. He keeps on chugging away at his little guy and stares into the sun. This is also tradition. Ask again. Grunt softly and he continues softly stroking. Get tired of watching him pump himself like the local butter churn. Start beating him with my new and improved Dr. Beating Stick. Start screeching and grunting, all while still polishing his bishop. Eventually, he puts his hand up and grunts, as if to address my query. I stop beating him. He grunts frantically and points with his non-pumping hand to a sign behind me. That's commitment, Dotsetol. Turn around and see a sign pointing toward my old town with fancy Dr. Castle. No frickin' way, Adoof. I thank the loathsome peasant creature for his time. He nuts and immediately goes back to beating a very clearly dead man with a large stone. Freaking Austrians, Pacharvi love poem. Spend the next 3 days walking towards Dr. Castle, finally arrive in the dead of night. I see 100-foot tall pile of bodies, still very much there. More like 15-foot tall pile of ash and bone now. Still yummy. Roman ornament. Begins to rain. Lightning, flash, thunder, booms in the background. I don't know how my mask could get any scarier. I wander up to the doors of my beloved castle, creak open the door, and I see the Lord, sitting in front of the fire. He seems to be whispering. Peek around the corner, being stealthy as hell, see a face in the fire. It's also whispering. What the hell, Ovidian story? He is legitimately a goddamn necromancer. I come around the corner. I knew it all along, gamer F-word! The Lord turns around. The fire snuffs itself out and screeches. How are you still alive? The Lord bellows. Because Vatican guards are homosexuals, and the Pope is a creepy gerbil pedophile man, I replied. Is any of this canon? I'm not sure. What? Never mind. The important thing is I knew you were a necromancer all along. That's why I had your entire family burned alive, I explained triumphantly. No friggin' way. You just wanted to reacquire this goddamn castle. You're nothing but an animal. Look down at feet for a minute. No? Lord clicks his tongue at me. Doesn't matter, 'cause now you're going to burn, Doctor. Fire reignites suddenly and starts screaming in Latin. Lord runs at me and pushes me towards the fire. I can feel the Latin screaming demon fire licking at the back of my awesome doctor cape. This time I'm finishing the job. I get pushed closer. My butt is getting hot. Remember the leeches in my pocket. Dig through pockets. Fling leeches into the Lord's face. He starts screaming and trying to pry the leeches from his shitty little face. Leeches for every occasion, portative organ. Grab him by the shirt collar. Hurl him towards the fire. He falls in. Starts screaming in pain on account of being on fire. Yeah, that does happen. It also cures plague, as it turns out. The flames intensify and turn a bright shade of green. The fire starts going freaking nuts and yelling feverishly. Something about how the Jews control the banks. Well, that's weird, Glockenspiel. Whole house starts shaking. I'm about to piss myself, Bumbalum. Demon Fire's voice echoes throughout the halls of this bitchin' doctor castle. Finally, the rumbling subsides. The Latin fades away. Final whisper. Doctor. I feel hot urine dripping down my leg. Shakily pry brick out of the wall, pull out stash of herbs, huff the hell out of them, poke the burnt corpse of the Lord with my doctor stick. Poking fixes everything, Timbro. Grab remaining leeches from floor. GTFO quick, cause this place is friggin' haunted. Wander out into the rain. Do my best to wash my urine out of my cloak. Compose myself and march towards the king's castle. I am still Revenge Doctor. Yeah, it took a little bit of a turn, but you came out on top. Be me, fully outfitted doctor on super cool mission. Finally arrive at King's Castle around midnight. Sneak around, stealthy as hell, through the woods. Peek around the corner of a towering oak. See one of the king's guards taking a dump into a raspberry bush. I got you now, humanism. I grab a big ol' rock on the ground next to me, hold it above my head, and creep towards the pooping guard. Get up close, slam him as hard as I can in the frickin' head. Blood spurts upward. Guard falls over, butt in the air, releases bowels immediately. Poops all over my shoes and cloak. God damn it, Chanson. Kick the guard repeatedly to get his shit off my shoes. Smells like chicken, mead, and poop. Admit defeat after kicking corpse for 15 minutes. Look up to see guard posted outside of the king's castle. Look down to see dead crapping guard's bow and 2 arrows. Call me Spooky Robin Hood, triadic harmony. Huff a ton of herbs to steady my nerves, you know? Grab the bow, knock one of the arrows, draw string back, and aim at the guard. Herb starts kicking in, get dizzy, and let the bow sink down. Release the arrow, flies gracefully through the air, and slams guard right in the balls. What the hell have I done? Magnificant. Guard starts screaming and clutching his tattered balls. Tattered balls. I immediately vomit. Why? I hear him scream. Shakily raise another bow and try to finish the job. Let another one fly. Hit him slightly higher in the dick, and then vomit again on the dead guard. This is so edgy for edgy's sake, and I'm all about it, honestly. Please kill me! Ah! The guard bellows into the misty night. Totally out of arrows. Guard is howling at the top of his lungs. Blood everywhere. I grab dead guard's sword from its sheath, walk shakily toward the screaming, now eunuch guard, apologize profusely as I sink the sword into his neck. Then I kick him into the moat. I mean, you did apologize, so that makes it okay, I think. Then I vomit once more into said moat. Are you puking into the mask? Is that what the beak part is for? Bro, I gotta stop getting high all the time. Bulade. Wipe vomit from lips and mask. Hear someone coming. See guard standing in doorway in the corner of my eye. Instinct kicks in. Throw sword. It smashes the guard right in the dick. Dry heave. All out of vomit. Rondo. Pull sword out of his genitals. Apologize profusely once more. Slice his throat and kick him into the moat. Make a mental note that this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I recompose myself and walk inside. Place is pitch black. No candles. No more guards. Weird. Vireli. Lurk slowly into the great hall. Feel stones sink in beneath my feet. Hearth ignites in a green flame. Floor opens up and I fall in. I land on a pile of dead guards. All of them have pentagrams carved into their foreheads. What the actual hell? Marion him. I look upward to see King clapping. Glad you could make it, Doctor. I'm going to guess you knew that I was coming. Indeed. And you've played your part beautifully. Wait, what's that smell? Nothing. Did you step in shit? No, that's my cologne. I'm like 110% sure that is straight up poop. I poke one of the corpses with a doctor stick anxiously. So you're a freaking necromancer. I fire at him finally. Something to that effect. Now I have to commend you on killing the Pope. You did your job wonderfully. So you wanted me to kill the gerbil pedo man, but for what purpose? Well, you exhausted our supply of sacrifices with your self-indulgent corpse bonfire, and seeing as the Pope is indisposed, we now have a much larger set of sacrifices, all to ourselves. Oh, snip snap, faux bourbon. Indeed. That's my 200-foot tall file of corpses, you pile of horse crap. Was, Doctor. It was. But now it's ours. But I do want to thank you for finding it. King reaches behind him and flips a switch. Hear a series of clicks. Walls start moving inwards. Hear flame crackle in the great hall above. Doctor. Immediately urinate. Isorhythm. This cloak is definitely ruined. Goodbye, Doctor, the king says. King leaves. Walls closing in. The sound of guard corpse bones snapping crackles in my ears. Try to ignore my immediate erection. Look for a way out. The walls are getting closer. Within 5 feet. I hold my doctor stick horizontally. Walls close in. Stick wedges the walls to a stop. Wow, quick thinking, Doctor. Hop on stick, leap upwards. Stick snaps and walls come violently shut. Blood and bone sprays out from in between the two walls. My stick! Cannon. Grab hunk of flesh and sniff it to ease the emotional turmoil. Hear fire snuff itself out behind me. Lament my stick for another 30 minutes. Huff even more herbs and walk back outside. I will have my 200-foot pile, you gamer F-word. Now I am a really freaking angry doctor. God, that's the saddest loss of the whole series, isn't it? That's the first doctor stick we've seen break. Things are really starting to heat up. Be me, piss and poop drenched doctor. Still have top tier doctor mask. Rip fancy doctor stick. Watch sunrise over the field ahead. Look inside trusty doctor bag to see how much tender, appetizing, succulent medieval Bitcoin I have left. And I see only a few meager coins. Stupid ass lord spent all the medieval Bitcoin that I left under my special pile of children's bones in the doctor castle. Also stole all of my children's bones. Honestly, pretty crap hiding spot. Bronze sculpture. See village up ahead. Not in poop tier France, so should be plenty of juicy medieval Bitcoin to spare. Waddle my soggy, poo-covered body into the village. I wander into the town square. Villagers see my super scary doctor mask and know that I am definitely a professional. "My lord doctor, our prayers are answered." One of the dirt and disease-riddled vermin spits at me. "Show me the money, music reservada." "Yes, slow and moronic creature. I'm here to stamp out the diseases that ail you." Everyone gathers. They point out how scary my mask is. Several people ask why I smell like the inside of a morbidly obese Austrian's butthole. Explain to the revolting masses that that is a simple way to keep the diseases at bay. Explain that they're all clearly inbred imbeciles if they don't know that already. They all gawk in awe of my towering medical abilities. They lead me into the Great Hall. Village leader promises me plentiful nectarous medieval Bitcoin if I do a clinic for the town sick. Oh, here comes the 200-foot pile. I gladly accept this dumbass's money. Village leader calls the rest of the hideous masses to the town hall. A line forms out the door. A woman comes in with a baby. "My lord doctor, it's my baby. He's cold, my lord, and he hasn't moved in days." That is the deadest baby that I have ever seen since I built a statue of myself made entirely of dead babies. Yummy dead baby monody. Jesus Christ, dude. It's gone so off the rails. I don't know what to do now. I ignore persisting hunger and I give my diagnosis. "Oh, yes. Your child's blood is simply filled with cold air. He simply needs to be warmed." Grab clearly dead surf baby and throw it into the fire. The mother screams, accuses me of murdering an already very clearly dead and exquisitely delicious baby. Tell village leaders, men, her scream is clearly indicative of witchcraft. Crowd screams and demands the woman's death. They completely forgot that I just fried her baby. The men immediately take her outside. "No, no, please!" Behead her on the chopping block. Head rolls towards the doorway, immediately starts salivating. Everyone claps for my heroism. I'll grab the head later, concertato. "All praise the good doctor for saving us from the vile witch," an old man yells. Crowd cheers. Look back. Baby's not quite medium rare yet. Can't wait, Irish harp. Next! I scream triumphantly. A man walks up to me, whispers into my ear, "He has an erection and it won't go away." "Ah, I know just the cure for such a matter," I whisper back. Break off leg of chair. Improvise doctor stick. Slide trumpet. Ask him to lay down. God. Slam him in the dong several times, and he vomits off the side of the table. Passes out. Rolls off the table in a puddle of blood and puke. Village leader's men drag him out. He is cured! Technically, I mean, this is the first one that hasn't died outright, so progress? These morons are loving it. Clapping continues in a feverish display of gratitude, basking in the surf praise. I'm freaking back, Vihuela. Let's line up the surfs for multi-surf plague beating. Surf beating assembly line, Agnes D. Beat consciousness out of 12 peasants at once. Some of them didn't even have the plague. Laughing like a small child. Giving out leeches like the Pope gives children night terrors. Whip out good old trepanning device. Gonna dig in some freaking skulls. Release the demons from hysterical woman's head who was found attempting to learn to read. Now she doesn't know how to speak. Oh man. I've done it! I'm the Tom Brady of medicine! Transverse flute. We're making some progress, maybe. Hours of doctoring just fly by. Leeches and beatings flying through the air like butterflies in the midst of spring afternoon. Finally get through the whole line. Village leaders' men drag away patients that for some reason died of trauma to the head or blood loss. No idea how that happened, Kyrie. Village leader commends me on my spectacular doctoring. Hands me a pile of enticing, exquisite, divine medieval Bitcoin. Shove it in the doctor bag. Town's cleric comes up to congratulate me. I see that he has a similar cloak to mine, one that is not covered in poop and pee-pee. Tell him that I would simply be remiss if I didn't give him my cloak to ward away disease. He is a man of the Lord after all. I explain that we should switch cloaks so he can avoid the violent death of the plague and continue spreading the Lord's good word. And we switch cloaks. He thanks me profusely. Whatever, idiot, lol. Gloria waddles away in my crusty poop cake and piss-drenched cloak. I strut off in a new, not poop-covered cloak. I think we know who got the long end of the stick on this one. I wander outside, see head on ground of that dead mother, lick lips, look around, no one's watching, throw head into bag, stroll into the setting sun, bag of tender medieval Bitcoin and delicious head. I'm ready to face that king fuck. I am Doctor, destined for greatness. Oh my god, it's all coming to a head. I'm so excited. Be me. Doctor, no longer soaked to the bone with his own feces and urine. Yeah, that's a step up. Strolling my way to Italy to kill that devil-worshipping king. Just got through the Alps, nuts clenched up into my body. Practically begging to be warmed by a delicious corpse fire. Finally arrive in the beautiful northern Italian countryside, sniffing my exquisite, freshly cut head from the village before. My dick's a goddamn boulder. Hallelujah. Oh no. Also, we forgot to take the baby. I thought we was cooking that up. I'm thinking about ducking into this next town's inn and banging the head real quick right before heading to Rome. I come over the hillside. The town is dead quiet. No mothers beating their children. No fathers yelling in Italian while beating their wives in front of their children while the wives beat their children. It's so good. The smell of pee and wine remains only a stale, far-off memory of its former glory. Literally 0 people banging it out in the streets. Nobody yelling at the top of their lungs in a restaurant. Not one person screaming that they're Italian at passers-by, despite them not asking. There's no way that this is Italy, Pilaster. Wander into the town. The dull hum of silence. Weird, Adacules. Look high and low. Look in the usual places that people hide bodies. Nothing. There's nobody left. Wander into this town's doctor office. Clearly an amateur. Barely any charred human remains. Just one baby skull. Pfft. Exactly one dead bat submerged in an unidentifiable green liquid. Lol loser. Basilica. See amateur doctor stick. Screw it. Lintel. Take stick. Walk outside with this absolute shit tier stick. Decide that it'd be boring to bang the head with no one around. I mean, what's the point without an audience, you know? No thrill at all. I mean, whatever gets your rocks off, and it does. Decide that it's a good time to set a fire. Get the town prepared. Dump a ton of flammable stuff everywhere. Light a torch. Throw it. Town ignites. Watch flames lick at the houses. Realize 10 minutes in that this is all way less fun without the screams of terror. No pleas to spare their children. No begging to make the pain stop. Literally 0 people yelping in agony and begging me to kill them. Frickin' boring. Printing press. Sigh. Bat my little guy around a bit to try and get him going. Get unenthusiastic wood. Not gonna waste a fire. Access my normal spank bank. Imagine father screaming for help in that dungeon I left him in. Pyronut. Baptistery. Put my dong back into my cloak and saunter out of the burning town. Spend the next couple of days wandering towards Rome, seeing how far I can throw the head. It's starting to smell and fall apart. Can't bang a head when it's rotten anyways. Chuck it and knock down a cardinal's nest. #1 draft pick. Tempieto. Climb up ridge overlooking Rome. Look over. See Rome. Entirely engulfed in a black storm cloud. You can see lightning flashes echoing from deep within the storm. Now what? Facade. Make my way towards the storm. Wind is howling. Cloud moving in a vicious spiral. Oh, that's the darkest of dark magic. Save us, Plague Doctor! Arrive in city. I can't see anyone. The town is darker than my on-the-go charred toddler. Oh, he did take the toddler. Great. Navigate my way through a maze of buildings eclipsed in shadow. See town square up ahead. Holy Mother of God, entablature. Thousands upon thousands of peasants standing in a perfect circle around the square. Enough for a 1,000-foot pile. Dull hum radiating in the background. Wander up to one of the peasants. He's staring blankly into the center of the storm right above. Getting spooky, Cornus. I gotta try something out. I take out my doctor knife and slice the peasant's throat. He stands there like nothing happened while blood pours out of his neck. Too spooky to even enjoy a blood waterfall. It's also not fun if he's not clawing at the wound and mouthing the word help. It's probably not a good thing, Coffered ceiling. He eventually collapses. Nobody looks over to see a very clearly dead man in a pool of his own blood. They all keep staring into the eye of the storm. Something funky, Pilasters. Turn around, walk into the center of the circle to get a better look. Hear a flame ignite behind me. Doctor. Try to turn around. Feel large objects strike the back of my head. Vision goes dark. I am unconscious, Doctor. Oh, seems like you got the jump on you. You gotta keep your head on a swivel, which is probably hard if you're wearing the bird beak mask thing. What will become of our beloved Doctor? Be me, Doctor, waking up in a white expanse that I somehow know is infinite. Feel the life force of the universe swirling around me. Experience all of humanity, past, present, and future, all simultaneously marching in step towards something far more important and far more intangible than I have the words to adequately describe. Lol, dumb, Tuscan column. A bright light appears in the corner of my eye. A blaring procession of trumpets resounds in a beautiful whirlwind sonority, so inexplicably gorgeous that I start crying. The light flickers between a myriad of colors that I have never experienced, all dancing before me in a monumental display of grace and inexpressible benevolence. A figure appears. He emerges from the tumultuous array of color and sound. The trumpets conclude on a beautiful plagal cadence. The colors burst joyously in a feverish tempest, and then abruptly into non-existence. I see him. He's like 5'4", unshaven, sorta hunched, wearing a white robe splotched in brown grease and distinctive liquor stains. His wings are sorta matted and also covered in grease and bits of what looks like sausage. His beard has extraordinary amounts of vomit in it. He walks out and looks at me. His eyes are crusty and bloodshot. He gives an audible sigh, rubs his beard and sniffles loudly. Snot rolls out of his blackhead-riddled nose and into his mustache. God, I'm hungover. Are you the doctor? The disheveled angel asks. God? I ask hopefully. The angel laughs and sniffs the snot back into his nose. Hell no, he chuckles. Do you think God would grace you with his presence? I'm Tom, and the mere fact you're seeing this right now is purely circumstantial. Wait, like the angel Thomas, or? Nope, just Tom. Are you serious, Molding? So, I'm not dead? No, if you were dead, you'd be in hell. You are an absolutely terrible person. Wow, you killed thousands of people and burned their corpses, possibly rub a couple out to send corpses as well, and now suddenly you're a bad person? When did morality raise the bar so high? Somewhere around the beginning of time. Look, my time's valuable here, so let's just speed this up. Wow, all right, entablature. He pulls out a scroll, puts on glasses with only one of the lenses still intact, realize that they have sent me the goddamn D team. He scratches his nuts and reads the scroll. repulsive, and most vile doctor. It's been decided that an act of heroism will expunge the bulk of your sins from your long list of heinous crimes, blah, blah, blah. You'll still be in hell, but like a milder form of it. Better than you deserve, blah, blah, blah. You get it, right? Jesus Christ, who made you an angel? Look, man, do you accept or not? I got better stuff to do. Then Tom takes out a vial of dark liquor from his back pocket and pours it down his throat. Oh, God, that burns so good. Fucking hell. What is it you want me to do here? Angel snaps his fingers, and the leather-bound chair appears crookedly behind him. He falls into it and rubs his forehead. Okay, yeah, so we need you to kill the king and stop that ritual thing from going on. Oh, my head. Do you hear that ringing? And my reward for doing this is not being tortured as much in hell. He dry heaves softly. Yeah, that's about it. Can you believe this? Decorative keystone. You're seriously ordering a person who gets harder than the Pope in the medieval equivalent of a Chuck E. Cheese to torture and pain, less torture and pain as a reward? Who dreamt this thing up? Angel dry heaves, louder this time, and hunches over his legs in the chair. I want to know how this guy got to be an angel. He's probably just a drunk, but he lived by himself, you know? Had no kids to beat. So he just kind of got in by default. All right, what do you want? For starters, I want whatever amount of succulent medieval Bitcoin it takes so that I can physically swim in it.
Ah! It's not a liquid!
Are you... whatever, man, sure. And... Tom groans loudly and pulls out another vial. And I would like a castle in a town with plenty of plague-ridden peasants, so I can have regularly scheduled peasant bonfires every Christmas. And I mean every Christmas. And of course, leeches. Lots of leeches. Everyone loves leeches, Benedictus. Angel looks at me with abject disgust. You are a pretty messed up individual. Yes, I know. Angel rolls his eyes and slouches back into his chair. Screw it. You're going to hell either way. Banking on it. That's fine. You got it. The angel gets up. Hey, one last thing. He slouches in defeat and rubs his face viscously. What? Have you guys been trying to say my name through some spooky green fire thing that only seems to arrive when I'm in danger? Like some guardian angel? No. Why the hell would we do that? You're an evil pile of human garbage who deserves nothing but pure torment and pain. Oh, you're just saying that. Screw off. The angel rips open a portal. He places one hand in, suddenly vomits off to the side. There's a bit of blood in that vom. Oh no, not again. I see urine building up around his feet. He wipes his mouth with his sleeve, shudders a bit, and then stumbles through the portal. The trumpets sound once more, the colors reappear in a triumphant fervor. The rift slams close, the trumpets cease, the colors dissolve. All that's left is a pile of vom and a chair. He has a problem, Coin. All of it disappears. I open my eyes to a swirling black storm overhead. Feel the back of my head matted with blood. I see the king standing with his arms towards the eye of the storm. Time to die. I am a doctor with a purpose. And that's the end? That's the end? Okay, be me, the bluest of balls. No doctor in sight. How could something like this happen? Did he kill the king or not? Maybe it's one of those things where it's just better not to know. You know, you can imagine your own ending and which version of hell the plague doctor inevitably went to. This is so ridiculous. OP never delivers. That's like one of the rules of 4chan. You thought you were gonna get a satisfying ending? Yoink! Not today. It was such a ride. I didn't want to see it end, especially not to have it end like that, but the actual ending probably wouldn't have been as satisfying as what we imagine in our own minds. Let's use the power of imagination. You thought the plague doctor was over, didn't you? But science never stops. In this thread, I am a Dr. Greentext. I'll start. Be me, medieval doctor. This woman runs into my shop. My son is horribly sick. He isn't able to get out of bed. Please help. Come over to this crap hole of a cottage. Go to the son's room. Jesus Christ, Parchment. The little dude has this freaking black poop smeared everywhere. He's slowly turning into a Moor. The wife must be a witch. Tell him to stay inside while I concoct a cure. Burn the house down. I am a doctor. Oh my God. We're off and running. Be medic for crusaders. Saladin pissed off the Pope. Not like I care about any of this crap. One day on the field, Chaplain tries telling me my witch doctor practices aren't working, and that I should pray more. Lamau, okay bruh, Tapestry. Chaplain continues, saying that I've killed more men than I've helped with the bloodletting. If they just got some decent rest and their wounds cleaned, they'd be fine. Tell that Fundy what for, and let him know just how much alchemy training I have. My face when fired. No job. Chaplain thinks rest will help the men. What a friggin' religious idiot. Tips Great Helm. It's good to see you again, Doctor. Back at it again. Another doctor comes into my castle. His mask is scarier than mine. Feels like Patrick Bateman in that business card scene.
Something wrong, Patrick?
Keep old-timey crap spaghetti in my robes. I am a doctor. Ask him what the problem is. He says his mask is stuck on. What? He says his mask is stuck on. I say, I heard you the first time, idiot. I just don't know how you did that. He says he don't know. Okay, get out my old-timey knife. Cut his face a little bit and the mask comes right off. Doctor has huge boils and stuff that were holding it in place. The mask didn't stop this. I rationalized that, well, he probably used the mask wrong. The mask cannot fail. Tell him that his veins got crossed and that made his face swell up. He needs to uncross his veins. Tell him that surely he knows how to do that because he's a doctor too. He doesn't want to admit that we're both full of shit, so he just nods and leaves. Forgets his mask. I clean off the boiled juice and wear it. I am a scarier doctor. And once you get those boils, you're gonna be double plus scary. Be me. Middle-aged man comes in. Middle-aged man has a lump on his balls. As if your peasant balls weren't already gross enough. It's okay. I am a doctor. You need 10 cc's of mercury. Proceed to give the patient the treatment. Patient cries. Tell him to come see me in a week. Patient never returns. Frickin' idiot. Tales of his time. Be me. Be after the end. Nuclear doctor with a sweet, scary mask. I'm bringing miasma bag. .avi. Set up in crap hole crater. Patient says they have radiation lumps everywhere. Cut open the sores and input some delicious smelling flowers. Patient won't shut up. Tell her to come back in a week to get the flowers changed. Never shows up. What a whore. Black dude comes into my castle tower office. Catches me playing with one of the dead things that I keep there. Oh my God, a black guy. Parchment. Okay, play it cool. I am a doctor. What is the problem, black man? Black man says that he's a black man. I say, I see. I stroke my beak on my bird mask thing. Notice that he has really white teeth. A chance to practice my old-timey dentistry. Pick related. Pull out a bunch of teeth and then tell him to grind them into powder and mix them into goat's milk. It has to be goat's milk. Tell him to wait for a full moon and spread that mixture over his exceedingly black skin. This will cure him. Don't collect medieval bitcoins because, you know, go back to play with a dead frog. Well, look at the plague doctor out here doing some charity work. A kid with tism comes into my castle. Doesn't want to talk to me, just wants to flap his hands. I know what's wrong with him. I'm a doctor. Tell him he needs to lose 8 fathoms of blood. Tell him that it'll make him flap less. Remove 8 fathoms of blood. Flapping stops. Breathing stops. Doesn't matter. He's cured. I am a doctor. A very edgy doctor. And I live for it. Be doctor. Peasants try to read and write. Not even Latin. Obviously witches. Burn them. Throw in some witch herbs with them. Smells quite nice. Get a vision from God, who tells me that I have prevented a great evil. I have done God's work. Wake up. People staring at me. I'm naked, apart from my mask. I'm told that I had a fit. Obviously possessed. Protest, and they say, fine, just test them. Get thrown into the river to see if I float. My mask when I float. My mask when I'm the witch all along. Bit of a reverse Uno, isn't it? Be doctor. Boss tells me that I need to cure more unbalanced humors. Go to peasant side of town. Find peasant complaining of coughing. Tell him that it's because of the unbalance of his humors. My face when I know that he just breathed putrid air. Be doctor. Cure many people. Saved cities from plagues. Rich and loved by all. Still scary though. Out one night with an overly friendly baron. Take caution, as he may be diseased with death wish. Take mead and revel all night with the man. Takes me down a back alley and makes me suck his ding-dong behind the love dumpster. No to all as the bird who got the worm. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Be a scaredy doctor. Potato walks in old-timey castle door. Ask him what ails him. Potato moans inaudible sounds. Inaudible. I don't think that's how that works. Again, it's a little My Immortal vibes. Confused as hell. Scroll. Tell him surely he is possessed. The potato murmurs again. Tell him that he needs leeching. I am a doctor. Scribe. Put 80 leeches onto his body. Potato faints. Leave to score some righteous wenches and ale. Come back. Potato is killed. Tapestry. Throw potato into castle moat. I am a doctor. Luckily, I don't think that one's a crime, actually. For the first time ever. Dress up as a plague doctor. Walk down the street to McDonald's. Walk in and walk to the counter. Hot blonde girl turns around and screams. Put on my deep voice. Do not fear, child. Bend down and then leap onto the counter, knocking down the register and the charity jar. I raise my hands in the air. Purify! Manager storms from behind some machines with a pissed off look. Do a MJ spin and kick some fat kid's McFlurry onto the ground. You are fat! You do not need this! Tip my hat at the manager and jump off the counter. Run for the door and see this bitch/hot girl from senior year of high school. She's eating some fries and stops and stares at me with an open mouth. Sprint to her. Grab bag full of fries and slap her with them. Manager screams as he grabs me, spin, and slap him across the face. Unhand me, male of brown skin. Jesus Christ. Run out of the store after I Sparta kicked the door. Run home and walk back outside without my costume. See the sign with the no dog stuff. Also, a picture of a plague doctor with a cross-out thingy on it. Lol. And then Anon woke up. It was the coolest dream he ever had, and he had to tell all his friends, which basically meant that he just goes and posts anonymously on 4chan. Oh, sorry, that got a little deep. A be medieval doctor! Chilling in my bitchin' horse and wagon, carrying my various herbs and body parts. For research, you see. Some a-hole Templars pull up. This shit again. Oil on canvas. They call me a nerd and make fun of my mask. How is the mask stupid? The mask is the best part of being a doctor. It's true. A couple of bucketheads are coughing pretty bad. It is time to do my duty. My doctoral duty. Tell them that I could cure them of their sickness. grab a bunch of stuff from the back of my wagon, grind it all together, tell them to put it into all the holes in their body. All the holes. And picks or it didn't happen. They totally believe it. They start shoving this concoction up their a-holes. They complain of burning. Tell them, that means that it's working. Leave. Go back to chillin'. I am a doctor. They're not gonna die, right? They're probably gonna die. I am a doctor! Be doctor, minding my own business, chopping of limbs, putting excessive amounts of leeches on people, the usual doctor things. Woman interrupts bloodletting, claiming that leeches won't cure a coughing child. She must be a witch! Manuscript. Have her burnt at the stake. Celebrated as a hero for catching the witch. I am a doctor! Man with a slight limp enters my office / bedroom / kitchen / toilet. Wow. Hands me a roll of parchment. Strap him down on operating table. Saw off his limpy leg. And the man dies of blood loss. I am a doctor! Read the parchment. Invited to castle of local noblemen. Put on scariest mask and go to castle. Bring 26 jars of leeches, cause you never know. Arrive at castle gate. The guard asks about the leeches. I am a doctor. Meet local lord. He says his son is sick and his own physician doesn't know why. Did you try leeches? I inquire, in a doctorly fashion. The lord says it did nothing. Tell him that I shall cure his son. Talk to physician, ask him about the treatment. He says that he's looked for other treatments to cure the boy. He tells me of all these plants and stuff. What in my spooky peak mask is this forbidden sorcery featherquill? Have the physician put in a madhouse because he's clearly insane. Tell the lord that they just didn't use enough leeches on the sick boy. Luckily, I brought extras. Empty all the jars of leeches onto the boy. While the leeches do leech things, I go to the mad physician's room. By the heavens, engraving. All kinds of strange shit. Plants and jars with dead things. Mess around with some of the weird stuff. Bring some random plants and force feed that sick kid. Go drink with the lord and the wenches. Next morning, boy is cured of all sickness. Because boy is dead. I am a doctor! Oh, that's good stuff. As the plants clearly countered the power of the leeches, I conclude that this whole thing, it must be the work of the devil. Insists that the castle must be burned down to stop Satan! Fire cleanses all. Carving. Castle is destroyed and Lord makes me his personal physician as thanks for saving the land from Satan. I'm gonna need more leeches. I am a doctor! Some things work out all right, you know? I don't know how it worked out in the last Plague Doctor stories that we did. If you missed those, they're in the description. Also, hey, hit the subscribe button maybe, because you watched the video this far. Maybe you're liking some stuff. Maybe you want to see some more stuff. All right, moving on. Be me! Doctoring it up in my doctor castle. Pregnant woman comes in. I ask what's wrong. You be me firstborn, my lord? Oh, I see your problem. Go on. I have no idea what her problem is. Hoping to John Edward my way through this. John Edwards? The biggest he ever got was being on an episode of South Park, right?
But I'm a psychic.
No, dude, you're a douche.
I'm not a douche. What if I really believe dead people talk to me?
Then you're a stupid douche.
She tells me she fears for her firstborn because scary witch plague will kill him. Tell her to sleep upside down at night, hanging from a rope by her ankles. It will keep him in your bowels until the plague passes. In your bowels? She leaves. Find out 2 seasons later, her kid died. She tries to take my mask, proclaiming I don't know what I'm doing. Proclamate her a witch. Everyone burns her alive. My face when. Just doctor stuff, bro. What do you want from me, bro? It's just doctor stuff, man. Be me, kicking back and relaxing in my sweet doctor office, shaking a pickled snake in a jar, cause fuck you, I'm a doctor. A knock at the door, Loot. Open the door to find a page boy and his night mentor. I look at them expectantly, but forget that they can't see my face. I look like a horror show reject. Waste my time, you will not. Tell me of your afflictions.
Well, sir, me page boy was in a swordplay match, and the daft shit got his arm cut off.
Doth it not grow back?
Grow back, doctor?
A healthy growing boy grows, does he not? And so should his arm.
Well,
Art thou with poisoned ears? The boy, incapable of growing his limbs back hence, must be given a new one. I gesture at me coin purse. Even knights have to pay for my services. I went to 3 weeks of med school for these privileges. He produces 3 crowns and a penny. Enough to make my coin purse jingle appropriately. When you say coin purse, are you talking about your ball sack right now? Return in 3 days, and I shall have a new arm for your shite, as you call him. He grabs the page by the scruff of the neck and pulls him outside. I can hear him being beaten outside for costing that knight 3 gold.
Keck.
Send a pigeon to my brother carpenter and have him fashion a mini lance and a leather harness. Page boy returns in 3 days and I strap him to the lance. This idiot waddles around with a permanently erect arm, knocking all my stuff off tables, including my snake in a jar. I charge the knight extra for a replacement. The beatings will continue, Papyrus. Last I heard, the knight entered the page into a jousting contest, and the boy got gored on a much longer lance.
God, I love being a doctor.
Pays the bills. In my doctor office, as per usual, admiring myself in the mirror. Black robes, oversized hat, medicine pouch, spice bags, medical almanacs, bitchin' full head mask. God damn, do I look terrifying. Almost perfection. I'm still missing something. What do all classy men have on their persons? Feathers? No. Pendants? No. I can't seem to think of what... Canes! All the greats had canes! Grab a pigeon, send a note to my carpenter brother that I need a cane right now! One with a doctor's touch. 1 month goes by, no response until there's a knock on my door. A sickly-looking girl is outside holding a rather long object wrapped in sackcloth. Snatch it off and throw 2 pennies at her. If thou darest to take any of that money intended for the carpenter of somewhere in Englandshire, I shall beat thou within an inch of thine life. She runs fast for a starving child. Yeah, that lethargy got ate up real quick by the adrenaline. Unwrap my brand new cane. Bone handle, crow beak carved into the foot, black stained wood, metal capped. Brother, you've done it again, you glorious bastard! William is a talented carpenter. Why he's writing plays, I will never know. Take my new cane for a spin. See the messenger girl paying for bread. Didst thou not listen? Thief! Baker swings a huge club into her head, knocking him over flat. Didn't even bounce, just like splat in the mud. I know she's dead. I ain't even gonna check. Besides, the baker will have to pay me later to clean up that corpse. Didn't even have to beat anyone with my new cane, and I'm already getting paid because of it. I love my new cane.
What good's a nice cane if not for using?
Counting my doctor fees, as always, I am the richest MFer in town. Decide to take a stroll down by the river. The usual pests there. Rats, not so much, but the children. They all have the plague and keep tugging on my robes. Filthy urchins. They'll keep running around my clean doctor robes. I'm gonna trip, oh shit! Trip over this old hag lying on the ground. Fall face first, bending my doctor beak down. Oh, no, you just did not, carrier pigeon. Start hitting her with my badass doctor cane, screaming, Thou wouldst strike the doctor!
heretic, peasant, to attack a man of science. I will beat the evil from you, cancerous wart demon.
Fail to notice that I have proceeded to bludgeon this scab on the world in front of a church with several church officials watching in horror. The reverend runs forward screaming, "Stop! Stop this madness! You would attack a practitioner of healing in front of the house of God?" He's talking to the hag. Oh, thanks science I'm wearing a mask, or they would see me grinning ear to ear. I always win, courier note. They throw the old woman in the nearby river and thank me for showing the members of the church how we deal with those who do not attend. Myself excluded, of course. I'm busy healing the sick. Church gives me a stipend every month for warding off the devil. I love being a doctor. Isn't that neat how everything's the devil's fault? We don't have to take responsibility for anything anymore. Hooray! Chilling in the doctor's office like I always do. Did you expect me to be anywhere else at this point? More knocking on my door, lute playing. The baker from earlier is carrying the girl that he beat down.
Doctor, I beat down the dirty thief for you.
Thou hast done me a service, noble baker. I shall dispose of her, free of charge. I take the corpse into my office. I have a sit down, eat some piney apple. This shit doesn't even taste like an apple. Bunch of weirdos in the indies. My best idea yet, tapestry. So I wrap her in a sack. I grab a ladder, I climb to the roof of my doctor office, and I leave her on the roof. In the heat of summer, it shouldn't take long for her to start rotting. 7 days pass and the smell is unbearable. People puke in the streets as they walk by, but the smell also attracts crows. Now I have crows and I look like a crow. Also, I'm a doctor. This was all because some little girl decided to buy bread. And now I am a crow doctor lord. I love being a doctor. Fix my sides, doctor. These threads are really good. Always tasty. Doctor's office, as always. More knocking, as always. Oh God, what do I have to cleanse now? Open the door. Some guy collapses through onto my floor. He whispers, "Help me, sir," and passes out. Oh, for God's sake, they always do this. Firstly, I search his pocket for loose change. As always, gotta get my doctoring fee. Examine his body closely. He has 2 giant cuts up either side of his abdomen. 4 in total. Rather unusual, but whatever, I am the fucking doctor. So I drag him inside and leave him on the floor. Go to the butcher's. Hast thou any sheepskin? The butcher looks at me puzzled. Sheepskin, peasant! Do you have any? He produced a couple of hides, which I pay for. Reluctantly, of course, because that is my doctor money. I take it back to my office and carefully stitch the skin, wool on the outside, over the cuts. I may be a phony, but I'm not an idiot. When I'm done, he looks like he's got an incredible amount of thick, white, woolly armpit hair. But he's not bleeding on my floor anymore. And I throw him outside. Behold, people of somewhere in Englandshire, the woolly sheep man! Naturally, the town chase after him. I think they're strapped for things to do, honestly. And that was how the doctor fixed a man's sides. God, he's just a miracle worker, isn't he? Now I can shear my armpits in the wintertime. Make myself an armpit coat. My doctor office at this point is looking fine. Being well known and somewhere in Englandshire comes with even more doctor fees. I now have to turn people away from my services. The knocking continues, sprightly sounds. The mistress of the local brothel is at my door. Madam, in honor to make your acquaintance, the doctor is at your service. I have a personal request. You see, 'tis the plague? No. 'Tis the mumps and measles? No. Seriously, for fuck's sake, what is it? Tell me, woman, what ails you? My girls, they have smallpox. Pox that is small, you say. No idea what smallpox is, but I talk out of my ass all the time, so I just sort of roll with it. To the brothel myself, I shall cure your girls, madam. Arrive at the house. Yeah, the girls are sick, all right. They're all vomiting and complaining about back pain. Oil shall cleanse the body. Oil the girls up and tell them to lie there and soak it up. Believe it or not, I am also a man, as well as a Crow Lord Royal Duke Doctor Man. And I have needs too. As I leave, my bitchin' Dr. Kane accidentally knocks over the candles in the room. Oh, candles land in the oil. Oops, oil leads to the girls. Oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. I run the hell out of there. Tell the madam that, okay, her girls will be fine. No, they won't. Dot etching. As I run out, I raid the tip jar. She didn't pay me my doctor fee. The whole place burnt down, along with everyone in it, within hours. Now all the lonely men in town come to me for ways to get off without women. More money for the doctor. I love being me. I considered making a joke about STIs and a burning sensation, but we're gonna move on. It's fine. My carpenter brother William sends me a pigeon from Londonshire. Open the message. Dearest brother, I am performing mine plays and would be honored if thou would catch mine first performance. God damn, I ain't seen little Willie in ages. I'm gonna go see a play. So I gather all of my things, doctor mask, black robes, my awesome cane. Cause really, I don't trust these townsfolk. I get on my horse-drawn carriage and off I ride. Glad to get out of that town. Smells like dookie anyways. That dead child is still on my office roof, stinking out the place. Also, there's no brothel, because I kind of burnt that down. Whoops, dot tapestry. Finally arrive in Londonshire. My balls hurt from the ride, although I rub no oil on them for obvious reasons. Arrive at my brother's house. Knock on the door. William opens the door. Brother, 'tis been an ages since I have laid mine eyes on you. You're still bald. Oh, yes. Sadly, my brother, my carpenting days did a number on me head. Well, when is this play? I cannot wait to observe. Fast forward a couple of hours, curtain up. The play is just complete trash. It's about some kids banging around or something. Rodney and Jill or some crap. I don't know, but the playhouse is pretty neat. During the intermission, I go backstage to find Willie, but he's not there. I find the miserable woman who is playing Jill. The ideas never stop. Courier pigeon. Your performance is stale. I specialize in enthusiasm. No, I don't. Really, doctor? What do you have? My services are not free, even for actors. She produces 20 gold pieces. Yoink. I produce a dead mole and give it to her. Eat the mole, for its life shall excel your own. I leave her. My work is done. They get back on stage. Jill comes on, same as before. 20 minutes later, she pukes on Brother Willie and shits herself everywhere. I had no part out of there. Say goodbye, and off I go. Apparently, it got out of hand. Newsboy said the Globe Theatre in Londonshire had burned down. Ooh, my face went. This, friends, is the last tale of the doctor. Remember, whatever ails you, I can fix for a doctor's fee. You know what, doctor? Actually, I think I'm probably good. You know, I could throw boiling water into my own face were I so inclined. I really do like these doctor stories. We'll get some more as they pop up, as they do from time to time during our digging. Thank you guys so much, as always, for hanging out, watching with me. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share the video around, because this one perfectly cyclical. Oh, it's an all-in-one package. You can also follow me on social medias if you'd like. I'm out there somewheres. Thank you to my Patreon patrons, my YouTube channel members, the biggest brain plays out here, helping me to survive and whatnot. If you can join them, that's great. If you can't, I mean, just come back tomorrow, check out what we're doing. Keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands. And of course, always remember, friends, that you are loved. You are worthy. You definitely deserve it. And I shall see you in the next one. So until then, Bye-bye.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.